Hello, this is Jerry over at Finn Tire and Auto. We have your vehicle up on the lift right now. You came in to get the 4 tires done. We have your wheels off over by the tire machine, ready to mount the new tires. While we have your wheels off right now, wanted to just show you front brakes on the vehicle. Look like they were replaced in the not so distant past. We still have plenty of brake pad, about 8 millimeters, which is about 80% remaining. The rear brakes have some brake pad remaining, but as you can see, there's not much contact with the brake pad on the rotor. The rotors are rotting, or what we call delaminating, to the point where there's not really any real stopping power on the rear brakes. The rear struts, shocks have been replaced. These are common for leaking and also the coil springs breaking. At some point somebody did replace those. The front ones are original, it appears. If you look how it's wet here, that is actually the oil that has come out of the strut. That strut is blown out or leaking. The passenger side is dry, but the coil spring is actually broken. And I did notice when I was driving this vehicle, you see this coil spring should be up here. So you get the bottom piece down here, and it's broken in the back here. And what that does is it lowers the ride height, and it's also causing the vehicle to pull to the right and the steering wheel to be off to the left. Other thing I wanted to show you, while there's no loose front end parts in the vehicle, we do have tie rod ends that are basically a crusted mess. You see these boots are torn wide open so that there's no grease left. This is a dry joint a dry joint could break. Same thing with the upper ball joints. See inside there is just a rusted mess where at one point there was grease and lubrication inside that joint. And it's the same thing with the tie rod end in the upper ball joint on the driver's side. See right here the boot is just hanging off. Inside that joint is rusted and crusty. Same thing with the upper ball joint. And again, a dry joint that will cause squeaking sometimes, but it also can break at any given time without you knowing, so that is a safety concern. Up in the fronts, you had a concern of the seat not moving. I did get the seat to go back, but if you can notice how slow that seat is moving, even after putting some lubrication on the tracks. When it gets up close, it gets to the point where it doesn't want to move anymore. You see, I can't move it. Basically, over time, the motors get weak. You have to replace the actual C-track assembly. Well, the option I do have for you is, instead of replacing a C-track, which is usually expensive, we can replace the whole seat with a salvage unit. You also had a concern of the fuel not being added to it. There is what's called a vent valve that is inside the fuel tank, or outside of the fuel tank, but near the fuel tank. And the vent will get plugged to the point where you can't put fuel in, because you can only put as much fuel in the vehicle as the air that's coming back out. So we would replace that vent, and that should take care of your issue. Going up on top, I want to show you a condition of a few of the items up here. First thing, your serpentine belt, the main serpentine drive belt. It's hard to see in the video, but down there's actually horizontal dry rot cracks that are going through that belt right now. We have antifreeze, which is supposed to be green. You can look, it's very dark and murky looking. Almost got like a burnt odor to it. And then we got coolant hoses that had the original factory stamping on them, and they're very soft. It would be a good idea to change out the hoses and flush the antifreeze. Going over to the other side, we have 2 other fluids I wanted to show you. One, the brake fluid, which is black. That should be a clear fluid. And then the power steering fluid, which originally from the factory is red. Red fluid, which is the same as transmission fluid. And you can see it's just kind of black and nasty. We recommend flushing those fluids out. We do have an estimate written up with everything that I talked about in the video and a few maintenance recommendations as well. My name is Jerry. Either myself or Brian will give you a call and go over that inspection with you.